Welcome everybody. Today we are going to be playing Farming Simulator 22. This has got to be one of my favorite guilty pleasure games of all time. I don't know why, but for some reason every time I put it down, start playing something else, I keep coming back to it. And I wind up getting addicted to it and playing it for hours and hours, day after day. So we are going to be starting off a new career here. We're going to be jumping into the game just like if we hadn't played it before, because I know a lot of you guys need to know where to begin on this one. Farming Simulator is one of those games where even though it seems like it should be really simple, they really don't give you much info at all. We're going to be starting off on an empty slot here, and just so that I can walk you guys through it, we're going to be starting off on easy on this one. If you are new to the game, definitely do easy. When I first picked it up, I went, I never play any game on easy. I always go hard, at least medium. Read through all the options on here, went, no, I should be fine to play medium. Hopped into it, went, what the heck am I doing? I have no clue what's going on. I can't do anything. And had to start watching a ton of YouTube videos, which is why I'm doing this one. So we're going to start off on easy. And quite honestly, I love Elm Creek, so we're going to be doing Elm Creek. And for today, we are going to go ahead and take off all mods, and we're going to just start brand new as if we did not have any mods so that you guys can see what we're doing. I will talk a little bit about a few of the mods because quite honestly, a lot of them make the game a whole heck of a lot easier to play, especially if you're playing it by yourself versus playing it online with a group of friends. But let's jump in and we will get going here. So first thing we're going to do is go through character creation, and it looks like this is more or less saved from the last character I created too, so we are going to go ahead and just confirm and skip through to the next part, but you can simply choose through a couple different player models, handful of different hairstyles, beards, mustaches, bunch of different outfits. And you do you. So we are going to go ahead and go through the tutorial. I really think that their tutorial sucks, which is why we're going to do it so we can add a few things in on here. So start off with here, it's going to just give you the little bit of, okay, this is how you control movement, and that is what you do. And we can go to our map where it's going to continue our little guided tour here. Alright, so it doesn't really tell you, but it wants you to go over to this little exclamation mark. Alright, so this is one of our fields. It's wheat, and it is already time to harvest. So we're going to get into our combine harvester and get started. And it tells you you're going to use X to enter it. So we get in, and it wants us to attach the harvester that's in front of us using A to attach tool. And you'll see up in that control panel in the top left, which I really recommend leaving on because it does get really handy. Go ahead and hit A, it'll pop our harvester head on. We're going to unfold it and turn it on. We are already selected into it, so if we hit Y, it's going to just deselect and go back to the actual combine harvester, so we'll keep on it. Unfold, we hold down LB, hit A, and it unfolds our combine. Then we're going to lower our header, we are going to turn it on. Steering, acceleration, deceleration is kind of standard on almost any game. So we are going to go ahead and start harvesting our wheat field. And now it says, okay, you're good, even though we've barely done anything, but it wants us to go ahead and hire an AI worker so that we don't have to do it ourselves. So we're going to hit OK. And you can see how our little harvester icon up there at the top left is highlighted in blue. That means we can in fact hire a worker just by going ahead and hitting B, like it says, hire an AI worker. Now they will start going ahead and driving through to finish harvesting that field. We're going to hit OK, and we are going to jump out of our harvester. Alright, so now it wants us to start plowing this field with the cultivator. Actually, maybe I should say cultivating, because technically we aren't plowing. So first off, we're going to go ahead and attach our cultivator up front, and we're going to attach our weight. And again, it wants us to go ahead and select through tools and hit lower. We are already attached to our weight. We don't really need to do anything with the weight. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's raised or lowered. It will affect your balance a tiny bit, but quite honestly, you don't even really need the weight that badly with this setup. So we're going to head forward so that we're in our field, just because I don't really like putting it down outside of the field, even though it's not going to do anything on easy mode since it's fresh and everything else is turned off. And we are going to start plowing through our fields just like when we were harvesting. And same thing, we get up here and it's going to tell us to hire an AI worker. The one thing I'm going to warn you, AI workers cost money. So, as you keep playing, you may not realize that right off the bat, but each time you have them going through something, you are going to be paying them to do all this. Alright, we're going to hop out of there. And we have another giant green beacon all the way up into the sky. Alright, so one of our workers is blocked. That was probably just for me getting out of the tractor because we look alright. Both of our workers are in fact working. Alright, so this one we are going to be sowing our seeds onto the field, meaning we are actually going to be planting it. And we're going to hook up both of our tools. And it wants us to plant canola. We're going to hit OK. Alright, we already selected on our seeder right now because we can see that bright white selection up in the top left corner on that back tool. Right will give you unload and honk. Left button is going to give it where we can actually unfold our seeder. And we can start selecting our different seeds. All you do is purchase seed packs, which will contain every single seed. No matter what, your seeds will work with every single plant in the game. And they didn't really line us up very good on here, so I'm going to actually realign a little bit so we don't risk losing a little stripe. That looks pretty straight. So we're going to go ahead and lower our seeder. We're going to turn it on because we already have it that we are in fact planting canola. And we're going to start planting seeds. You can see the texture on the ground changing behind us there, which is how we know it is working correctly. And then again, it's going to want us to go ahead and get an AI worker and switch. It really doesn't say to get an AI worker, but if you just switch at this point and you don't get an AI worker, now your tractor's going to just be sitting here. We're going to get an AI worker. And we're going to hit our right button to switch right over to our tractor here. And again, it kind of doesn't tell us much, but we do have our little exclamation point here saying as soon as the harvester's full, we can unload it into the trailer. So we're going to go ahead and hop back into our trailer or tractor here. Trailer's not attached, we'll attach it. And it tells us how to open the cover. There's really no point in closing these covers except for looking a little bit more realistic. You don't get anything into the trailer that's not supposed to be in there, and nothing goes flying out of your trailer if you leave it open. So most of the time I don't bother closing them at all. But as soon as you drive up to your harvester here, now moving out of our way. As soon as you drive up along the side, it will automatically extend out the pipe since we've got that AI worker in it. Come on. And he's going to start extending out that pipe and dropping in. Now, some of the things they don't tell you that they really should, because now they're saying, okay, go ahead and close your cover even after we barely put anything into it. If you hold LB and RB, you can see now it's prompting a couple different options, including cruise control. If we use our left stick and go way down to right where we're at, like about 5 miles an hour there, and then turn it on, that'll actually help us keep pace with that harvest, which is now going to be moved around this last strip, and we're going to play. Woo! And run into the house. Good thing we don't have to pay for repairs on the house. Okay. So it's going to start piping out again and filling our trailer. As long as we can center it back up on it. There we go. Now, if we go ahead and activate cruise control, we are cruising right along, almost falling. We'll pop up to 6 miles an hour. Just a little boost, get back into position, and activate cruise control. And now he's done, so it's going to just sit there. Let's see if there's more in here that needs to get. Nope, it is empty, so we're going to be all done with that one. Let's see, does it have anything else for us here on our guided tour? Right, it wants us to close our cover back up. So we'll close our cover. And I believe it wants us to go sell all of this. So we're going to go chasing after that. Oh, we're going to get into an accident with our worker. And we're going to go chasing after that big green infinite beacon in the sky again. And make this drive a little bit easier. We're going to hit down on the D-pad, which will zoom us out. Makes it a little bit easier on the eyes. Or you can hit your right joystick and go into first person, which is pretty fun to do a lot of the time. It does make it a little bit tougher to drive, but you get a really nice view, plus you get to be able to control it. And then sometimes you quit paying attention to the road and almost crash. On console here, I never find traffic to be much of a problem. Traffic is on, as you can see a few cars here and there. That's usually the most that I see. It will sometimes cause problems with the AI workers going around corners and stuff because they'll get a little bit jammed up with people. But otherwise, I usually leave it on because to me it's a little bit nicer than driving down empty roads all the time. Alright, AI worker D has completed their task. I want to say that is, well, actually, that must have been our cultivator. You can go into your menus and check that as well as your map. It makes it really easy to check it. Let's do that right now. So if we hit start, we can scroll down to our map, and we'll see we've got AI worker E over there, which is over on the field sowing all of our canola. Easiest way to tell that right now is you can see that half the field is covered in the canola crop. We can also skip down to the next one and we will see our active workers and what they're doing to some extent. It's not always the greatest description, like right there, it just says field worker working the field. Technically, anything we've done to the fields is working the field, I think. Alright, now that we're causing a traffic jam here and getting honked at by the one car that's behind me, we'll get moving again. How did I just go the wrong way? It did. So we'll make a big illegal U-turn. And the car behind us even disappeared. Or went around us. But I don't think they actually go around. So it probably just despawned. Alright, so we are going to be pulling up to our sales facility up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and open the cover right now, because we'll end up needing to open it to tip everything out, I believe. This does have a rear dump as well, though. Alright, so you do want to be a little bit careful when you come to these sales facilities, because it does get a little bit tough to figure out where things are going sometimes. Apparently it's mad because we didn't pull into the exclamation point, so we'll get our trailer all goofed up there to drive over it. And it's telling us to go ahead and dump it in the unloading station here by RB and Y. So we're going to go ahead and pull right over this grate because it's going to be dumping it into that grate. And yep, we do have a rear dump where it's telling us to do right now. Or if we hold down RB and hit down, it's giving us the different options of how to tip it. So we can tip this trailer out the left side, the right side, tip it straight back, or use the little grain door in the back. We're actually going to go ahead and say we're tipping it off to the right because you know what, that's going to be the safest bet for us, even though tipping it back should work just fine. This way we know there's no way it can go besides into that big grate at the unloading station. Alright, now we've sold the crop. We're going to drive over to the shop. And again, we've got the flashing diamond on the map and the giant beacon up in the air. So let's go ahead and pull it up. It's going to auto-save for us because it will do that a lot of the time when you go into your menu if you have auto-saving on. I usually recommend to keep auto-saving on because it does help. And we don't have our diamond flashing at all, but there's the shop. I don't know why it's not setting our point over there to make it flash, but that's alright. We will get over. You can have workers automatically drive from place to place by the map menu that we were just in. Our beacon. If you go back to this map and make sure you're in the worker menu, if you're in the crop menu here where it's showing you your map and showing different crop types on each field, it's not going to work. But if you're over in the worker menu here, scroll to wherever you want to go to, hit Y, and then if you use your right stick, it'll let you select the direction. We're going to go ahead and cancel that worker though by just hitting B as we're still in that vehicle, because we're just going to make the drive ourselves. This will be nice and relaxed, and then we don't have to pay for it. As you can see, we start off with it looks kind of like a lot of money, being over $100,000 there. That $2,000 or $3,000 that we have almost is from selling the grain here. But in this game, $100,000 is really not much. Pop into the shop here before we end the video just to kind of give you an idea that the $100,000 they give you does not go very far at all. AI workers are not perfect in this game, but I do really like them. They come in very handy, because times like this, when you can go ahead and set an AI worker to be driving over to where you want your tractor to go, you can just hop into a different vehicle and start doing something else that you need to get done. Especially with the base settings. 5 times speed goes a little bit quicker than you think most of the time. And you're at a 1 day per month time period, meaning as soon as we end today, it's going to be September. And that makes your years and your seasons go by pretty quick. I would recommend that for your first time you play with seasons off, because then you don't have to worry about when you can plant what crops, as well as weeds and rocks off and lime off. Looks like everything's turned on right now because I see a lot of weeds in that field. Weeds are going to impact your overall yield at the end, and you'll get a lot less if you have weeds. So you have to get in and either pull them or use a weed killer on them to get rid of the weeds. Alright, so here we are at our final exclamation mark and our shop. And it's not letting me stop. Alright, so it's telling us this is where we can sell tools, buy tools. You can also lease tools here. Now, it kind of makes it look like you have to come in here and do it. As it shows you in the menu there too, you can also hit the button that it's showing, that little select display button, whatever it's called. So if we hit A, and then it's going to tell us we're done on our guided tour, and we can open the menu as well. But if we hit that shop button, it's going to take us right into that same shop menu, and everything will just get delivered here at the store.